Welcome back to Cage Strom MMA. Today we're diving into an interesting breakdown from Georges St-Pierre. Recently he shared his thoughts on what it would take to defeat Islam Makhachev. As we head toward the end of 2025, Makhachev sits firmly at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings, and many fans are wondering if anyone in the sport truly has the tools to dethrone him. During a recent appearance on a popular MMA YouTube channel, St-Pierre offered a detailed and thoughtful analysis of Makhachev's dominance. According to the former UFC champion, Islam Makhachev is currently the most complete fighter in the sport on paper. St-Pierre also acknowledged other elite names in the pound-for-pound conversation, including Ilia Topuria, Merab and Khamzat Chimaev, but emphasized that Makhachev stands out due to his overall skill set and consistency. St-Pierre made it clear that beating Islam Makhachev does not necessarily mean someone is the better fighter overall. He explained that MMA is unpredictable, and even the most dominant athletes can lose under the right circumstances. He referenced Makhachev's lone loss, pointing out that if he were to fight the same opponent multiple times, the outcome would almost always favor Islam. However, all it takes is one moment, one mistake, or one perfectly timed strike for everything to change. When it comes to a potential game plan, St-Pierre believes the key lies in wrestling resistance and intelligent movement. To challenge Makhachev, a fighter must be able to neutralize his takedown, or immediately scramble back to their feet if taken down. Simply accepting bottom position against Islam is not an option. Creating space, resetting positions, and refusing to be controlled are essential elements of survival. Equally important is the ability to compete with Makhachev on the feet. St-Pierre stressed the importance of pressure, feints, and constant movement. A successful opponent would need to force reactions, disrupt Islam's rhythm, and keep him guessing rather than allowing him to settle into his calculated approach. Overall, St-Pierre's breakdown highlights just how difficult it is to prepare for someone as well-rounded as Islam Makhachev. While no fighter is unbeatable, dethroning the pound-for-pound king would require near-perfect execution, elite conditioning, and the ability to thrive in chaos. Merab has once again sparked major discussion within the MMA community as he addressed the possibility of a trilogy fight against Petrian. Ever since Dvalishvili's impressive 14 fight winning streak was snapped by Yan fans and analysts, alike have been debating whether a third bout between the two bantamweight stars is inevitable. While interest in the matchup remains high, the timeline for such a fight appears to be less straightforward than many expected. Dvalishvili has made it clear that he is eager to run the fight back as soon as possible. Known for his relentless pace and unmatched cardio, the Georgian contender expressed his desire to stay active and return to competition quickly. He initially targeted an early 2026 comeback, even considering a return within 2 or 3 months. However, those plans now seem unlikely due to scheduling and logistical factors. In a recent update shared on social media, Dvalishvili explained that a March return is no longer realistic. Instead, he pointed toward April or May as more reasonable options, emphasizing that he does not want to sit out until the summer. His preference is to stay sharp and maintain momentum rather than endure a long layoff after such a high-profile fight. Dvalishvili also addressed speculation surrounding the location of the potential trilogy bout. He confirmed that the fight will not take place on the highly anticipated White House card, though he made it clear that the venue is not a concern for him. His primary focus remains on securing the opportunity to reclaim his standing and settle the score with Yan once and for all. Perhaps most notably, Dvalishvili revealed that the UFC has reassured him about his future. According to him, the promotion expressed gratitude for his performances and promised that his next fight would be for the title, specifically a rematch against Petrian. Dvalishvili stated that he is fully committed to doing everything possible to win the trilogy, prove that he belongs at the very top of the division. While it remains unclear why the trilogy has not yet been officially approved, the delay is not entirely surprising given how recently the two fighters competed. Early 2026 was always a difficult window, and the UFC has no shortage of big names and legendary fighters competing for limited marquee spots. Still, with Dvalishvili's determination and the high stakes involved, a third fight with Petrian feels less like a question of if and more like a question of when. Jake Paul has shared a revealing update following his 6th-round TKO loss to Anthony Joshua, confirming the severity of the injury he sustained during the bout. While it was initially reported that Paul suffered a broken jaw, new details have shown that the damage was more serious than first believed. According to Paul, his jaw was fractured in 2 separate locations after being caught by a powerful right hand from Joshua. Paul took to social media to address the situation directly, posting an X-ray image that clearly displayed the fractures. The scan showed the jawbone split in 2 areas, underscoring the force behind Joshua's punch. Despite the seriousness of the injury, Paul maintained his trademark humor by sharing a lighthearted video alongside his brother Logan, making jokes about the incident and attempting to downplay the severity of the setback. Following the fight, Paul continued to engage fans online with his usual bravado. He joked about the outcome while emphasizing that, despite the broken jaw, his spirit and determination remained intact. He also stated that his focus is now on rest and recovery, with plans to eventually return to competition at cruiserweight once he is medically cleared. Anthony Joshua, meanwhile, offered praise for Paul's toughness and willingness to step into the ring. Joshua acknowledged that many fighters have avoided facing him, and he credited Paul for accepting the challenge. He also commended Paul's resilience, noting that even after being knocked down, Paul continued to get back to his feet and attempt to fight on. Joshua made it clear that he respected Paul's heart and effort regardless of the outcome. The fight has also sparked debate within the combat sports community. Former fighter and analyst Brendan Schaub weighed in on social media, expressing skepticism about certain aspects of the bout. Schaub questioned Joshua's strategy, pointing out that he felt Joshua did not throw his signature straight right hand for much of the fight and appeared hesitant to cut off the ring. According to Schaub, the overall flow of the match felt unusual and raised questions about what was happening behind the scenes. Schaub also commented on the knockdown sequence, suggesting that Paul's reaction did not fully align with what is typically seen from a severely concussed fighter. While he stopped short of making direct accusations, Schaub made it clear that the fight left him unconvinced and disappointed, even while acknowledging that both fighters earned significant paydays. With strong opinions on both sides, the bout continues to divide fans, leaving many to debate whether the fight unfolded exactly as it appeared or if there was more beneath the surface. A major announcement has sent shockwaves through the MMA world as Paramount officially revealed the total cost to watch every UFC event in 2026. In a move that could significantly change how fans consume the sport, the entire year of UFC content will be available for a single annual price of $59.99. This figure is notably lower than the current cost of just one UFC pay-per-view event, which has been priced at $79.99 under the existing model. Under this new subscription structure, fans will receive access to every UFC event scheduled for 2026 without any additional fees. The package includes all 13 numbered UFC pay-per-view cards, along with 30 UFC Fight Night events spread throughout the year. This means subscribers will be able to watch every major title fight, contender, matchup, and main event without worrying about separate purchases. Beyond live events, the subscription also offers a wide range of additional content that appeals to both hardcore and casual fans. New seasons of Dana White's Contender Series and The Ultimate Fighter will be included as part of the package, giving viewers behind-the-scenes access to the next generation of UFC talent. These shows have long played a key role in developing future stars, and their inclusion adds substantial value to the overall offering. In addition to current programming, the service will feature an expanding archive of classic UFC fights, legendary moments, and historic events from throughout the promotion's history. Fans will be able to revisit iconic performances, championship reigns, and unforgettable rivalries that helped shape modern mixed martial arts. This announcement represents a dramatic shift from the traditional pay-per-view model that has dominated combat sports for decades. By offering all UFC content at a single, affordable annual price, Paramount appears to be prioritizing accessibility and long-term fan engagement. The move could attract new viewers who were previously hesitant due to high pay-per-view costs, while also rewarding loyal fans with a more streamlined viewing experience. While details regarding regional availability and platform integration are still expected to be clarified, the pricing alone has already generated widespread discussion. Many fans view this as one of the most consumer-friendly decisions in UFC history potentially, setting a new standard for how major combat sports organizations distribute their content. Ilia Topuria did not hold back, as he strongly criticized Team Khabib following another performance-enhancing drug controversy connected to the camp. The outspoken featherweight star reacted after news broke that a longtime teammate and training partner of Khabib Nurmagomedov tested positive for recombinant erythropoietin, a substance widely known for significantly enhancing endurance and cardiovascular performance. Anti-doping authorities issued a one-year suspension to the athlete, retroactively applied, sidelining him from competition until August 1, 2026. In response, the PFL stripped him of his featherweight tournament title and revoked all associated prize money. The fighter's team later confirmed that no appeal would be filed, effectively closing the case. However, the incident has reignited broader scrutiny surrounding Khabib Nurmagomedov's inner circle, especially given previous suspensions tied to the camp, including a notable case involving Usman Nurmagomedov in 2023. Topuria's comments came shortly after Islam Makhachev downplayed him publicly, suggested that Topuria was avoiding a potential matchup with Arman Tsarukyan. During an interview with a Georgian sports outlet, Topuria responded by shifting the focus away from matchmaking and toward what he described as a troubling pattern of repeated doping issues associated with that camp. While Topuria acknowledged Khabib Nurmagomedov's personal conduct, giving him credit for remaining respectful and largely silent amid criticism, he drew a clear distinction between Khabib and several fighters around him. Topuria pointed out that whenever Islam Makhachev is mentioned, multiple figures connected to the camp quickly respond in a defensive and confrontational manner. According to Topuria, this recurring behavior raises serious questions. He went further by suggesting that repeated drug-related suspensions within the camp are not coincidental. In his view, reliance on performance-enhancing substances often impacts not just physical performance but also emotional stability and decision-making. He argued that heightened aggression, emotional reactions, and instant defensiveness are consistent with long-term substance misuse, adding that these patterns have been visible for years. Topuria also referenced other past doping cases connected to the Nurmagomedov circle, stating that such incidents help explain the behavior he sees publicly. He emphasized that extended steroid use can affect the nervous system as much as the body, leading to noticeable changes in temperament and conduct. Having recently taken time away from competition himself, Topuria made it clear that he has little interest in engaging with camps repeatedly linked to banned substances. His comments have sparked strong reactions across the MMA community, further fueling debate about accountability, anti-doping enforcement, and the lasting impact of repeated scandals on the sport's most prominent teams.